everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. As you can see, I'm in my PJs. I had a great day. I'm being lazy here, getting out of my food coma from yesterday. We didn't really do anything. We stayed home today, put up the Christmas lights and whatnot. I didn't even go, Black Friday shopping pre-pandemic, so I'm certainly not going to go now. I mean, if there's something I need, I'm going to buy it online. So perfectly happy and content to stay home and relax today. It was kind of a cold, rainy day here anyway. But I thought I wasn't doing anything, and we're trying to figure out what to do. I got a few minutes. Let me do another video. So the topic of today's video is going to be one of my all-time favorite television shows, and it's kind of funny because the very first time I saw it, I got pissed off. I didn't like it, but a friend of mine said go back to it, and I did, and ended up being one of my favorite shows ever. Today we are going to talk about The X-Files, one of the greatest television shows of all time, in my humble opinion, and we'll go over that. So if you guys have been enjoying my channel, please subscribe. Hit the little notification bell up there so you'll be the first to know whenever I post a new video. If you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. In the comments, tell me something you like about it, something you don't like about it. Tell me something you love or hate about The X-Files. So the first ever episode I saw was the fourth one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically the same story as John Carpenter's classic movie from the 80s, The Thing, which is one of my favorite movies ever. Of course, that's a remake of The Thing from Another World from the 50s. But anyway, I was kind of like, what the hell? You're basically just copying this awesome movie. Anyway, a couple weeks later, a friend of mine encouraged me to watch it again, and I did. And little by little, I got into it. And before you know it, full-blown fandom. I mean, like I said, it's right up there with Star Trek, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, as far as one of the greatest sci-fi shows ever. And I think the reason it's so appealing to me, beyond the dynamic of science fiction, is just the characters. Mulder and Scully, in my opinion, are like the best couple in television history, even though they weren't a couple for like the overwhelming majority of the series. Just the way they worked with each other, the bond they had, the respect they had for each other, even though they were so very different, they still kind of found that common ground, and found something in each other, which I think was awesome. So, it was on for 9 seasons. In between the 5th and 6th season, you had a movie, which I thought was pretty good. It was a little different from the episodes. And then when the series was over, they had another movie a few years after that, which really wasn't that good. And then they had a spin-off series called The Lone Gunman, which were 3 of the more famous characters from the show. I think it lasted like 13 episodes. I haven't actually ever seen that one. But they had a sort of like not a remake, but like they came back, after almost 20 years, had a few episodes, which were okay. And then they came back for a final season, which kind of got retconned out of everything they had just had in that previous season. I'll get to that here in a second. So, again, just a wonderful series overall, though. Look, like anything else, sometimes there's a dud where there's an episode that's not that good. The X-Files had this overall arc of a story of like government conspiracies, of covering up the existence of aliens and all these other paranormal things and all these experiments going on. And then you had what they called their Monster of the Week episodes that were kind of like one-off, but were still really, really cool. So, when the series starts out, your main character, Fox Mulder, he's Oxford-educated, brilliant kind of psychologist, whatever the heck he was, officially. But his sister had been abducted by aliens when he was a child. So, he's, of course, trying to find his sister, trying to find out what's going on. His father is kind of in this cabal of, secret government. So you got that side of it, and then he gets teamed up with Dana Scully, who's a medical doctor and, a skeptic. She doesn't believe any of this stuff. She's pretty much sent in to debunk all his work. But, as the course of the series goes on, she starts to see these things that you can't really so easily explain, even though she tries to, explain them in the realm of science. Eventually, she gets to the point where she can't, and she gets abducted, and all this stuff starts happening to her. So this, like I said, just a wonderful, really, really cool series. Great science fiction, great character bonding. There was humor, there was scares, there was, just a little bit of everything. But like I said, the thing that draws me into it, besides, I've always had an interest in the paranormal, is just, like I said, the characters of Mulder and Scully, so well written, so well acted by David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson, which is kind of funny because in real life, for like the longest time, they hated each other, and then they kind of came around to being, friends, or so they say. I mean, who knows? And it's kind of funny with David Duchovny also. It's kind of like the same thing with people in other famous science fiction shows. They grow tired of the role, and he kind of quit the series toward the end. He comes back like at the very last episode and whatnot, and then he's back for the later movie and the reimagined series, so to speak. But I've always kind of wondered, it's like, I get it, maybe that's not what you wanted to do with your artistic talents, but the nerds out there like me who fell in love with the show and were big fans of it, we're your paycheck, dude. So it's like, grow up, deal with it. Anyway, I digress. But as the series goes on, you've got your, like I said, your Monster of the Week episodes. You've got your alien conspiracies, government conspiracies, aliens, all these other monsters. Just so many cool different things, and the characters really just, both of them get put through hell. I mean, like physical abuse, mental abuse, and they come to form this bond and this understanding and this love and respect for each other. And it was funny because in the creator of the series in the first couple seasons, whereas everybody, all the fans were kind of like, egging them on, like, get these two together. He was like, no, they're never going to be together. They're never going to kiss. It's never going to happen. Just deal with it, And then they had this other show, which I never watched, with Lance Henriksen called, what the heck was it called? Millennium or something like that. I can't remember what it was. I never saw it, but they do one crossover episode toward the end of the series where he's in it, and it's New Year's. And, here they are. This is after the first movie where they had like this almost kiss, and then she gets stung by a bee and goes into shock. Like, we got our little tease there. And we figured, okay, that's as close as it's going to come. And, here it is a few seasons later, New Year's Eve, and they kiss for like the first time, and it like caught me totally off guard. Like, I so didn't even see it. So it was a kind of a cool little surprise, for fans of the show. Eventually they do end up together. They have a child, so they think, but they have to give the child up because it's like this whole alien conspiracy thing going on, whatever. Anyway, like I said, he left the series toward the end of the, I guess it was the end of season 7, or it might have been the very last season. And, Robert Patrick, from the Terminator and from other, shows, he comes on as Agent John Doggett, and he's kind of like the way Scully was in the beginning, like the super skeptic, and where she's become more like Mulder. And then they're joined by another actress, Agent Reyes, Annabeth Gish, I think is her name, I can't remember. But so many iconic characters. You got Mulder, you got Scully, you got the cigarette smoking man, Deep Throat, the lone gunman, these other, just all these characters along the way, and all these conspiracies, and how everything ties into one another. Just really, really cool stuff. I don't want to spoil it because unfortunately some of my earlier videos I did end up spoiling some of the things I really didn't want to. So before I get anybody else upset, I'm going to just try to keep this very spoiler free. But like I said, if you have an interest in the paranormal, government conspiracies, tinfoil hat kind of stuff, this is a perfect show for you. Like I said, they had the 9 seasons plus the first movie. The second movie really wasn't that good. I don't know if they did it just to kind of gauge fan interest, if it was still there. I really didn't like it. It was okay. It had its moments. Then a couple of years later, they having this reimagined series. I shouldn't say reimagined series, but it's sort of like a coming back, after all these years. And I think it was 6 episodes, and it was okay. It was like 3 episodes were the overall arc, and there was a few of those Monster of the Week kind of funny episodes in there. But it ends with like this, not an alien invasion, but sort of like this plague, this virus that escapes and gets all over the country and starts killing people. What does that sound like? Anyway, so then the final season starts, and that was all Scully's dream. So I don't know why they made that change. I don't know what caused that. That was kind of weird, like, I mean, shows do things like that for whatever reason, from time to time. I wasn't really crazy about that, but I did still enjoy the last season, again, with the Monster of the Week and semi-wrapping up all these, long-standing plot lines. And I think that's kind of why it got brought back. Not only that it was so popular, but because it didn't really, when the series ended, it didn't really wrap up every little thing that they wanted to do. I think by the end of it, they sort of did. For those of you who know me very well, one of the things I kind of go on and on about all the time is, technology and how technology has pushed us further apart as people. One of the best episodes of the entire series is in the very last season. I don't remember. It's got like a long, title, sort of like a computer code title, and there's maybe like 3 words spoken in the whole thing. It's just awesome how they Mulder and Scully, the actors and the actor and actress, kind of play off each other and just their facial expressions, and it was a cool episode because there was the lack of dialogue, but you could still completely understand what everybody was saying, thinking, feeling, and then it ended on a really sweet and tender note. So I think that's one of the best episodes of the series. The way it ended was kind of like, not the greatest ending in the world. A little, again, I don't want to spoil it because I've done that, unfortunately, for other videos. I didn't dislike the ending, but it was a stretch. I don't think it's ever coming back. She has said she's done with it. He might continue, but I mean, you can't have a Mulder without a Scully. Like, they're just inseparable. They are the ultimate power couple. Like I said, just if you watch this series, the bond that they have and form over the course of the series, it's just so organic. It's so not forced. I mean, just incredibly excellent writing. I can't say enough about it. I really love the show. I'm glad I went back to it, even though I didn't like that first episode I saw because it was kind of a knockoff of one of my all-time favorite movies, The Thing, which I'm going to do a future video about. But like I said, just an incredible show. I think it was Sunday nights. That was kind of like a ritual Sunday night when I was a teenager. It was either Star Trek or the X-Files, or maybe it was Friday night. I don't know. I wasn't Mr. Popularity. It was like I'd make my girlfriend at the time sit home and watch this stuff with me. So anyway, if you guys have enjoyed this walk down memory lane in this video, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Leave something down in the comments. Tell me something you love about the show, something you don't love about the show, something you like about this video, something you don't like about this video. Remember that the truth is out there if you want to see it. So we will see you in the next video. Take care.